All right, this is it, people. Let's move. Let's go, 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 go.
Someone in the comments asked if Big U knew Monster.
You know Monster Kody?
Yeah, I was never been in the same space with Monster. Monster was like the folklore to us. I'm 3 years younger than Cody. You know what I mean? And so we was always looking to get a name off of Monster.
He's always right being in prison. When we both was in prison, we used to write each other.
Yeah, I seen that somewhere. He used to write Tupac. Cody was an enigma, man.
Okay, sounds like he didn't know Monster. Anything else?
I seen Monster, man, let me tell you. I seen Monster March 87 when I came
Big
home.
U speaking in an interview on Big Kev Mac.
I seen Monster, man, let me tell you. I seen Monster March 87 when I came home. I just came home. I was going to church with moms. And I was on Florence and Hoover. Mom's church was on Florence. Mom's church was on Florence and Vermont. And I was at the Church of Chicken, coming up to Church of Chicken. And the Church of Chicken is right next to the church. I'm walking out the church, and as I'm walking up the church, I swear to God, it's about 50 Hoovers.
There's that smirk
walking
again.
Down the street. And Monster, Devil, and I can't remember who all else is leading the charge. And they just walking. They must have been coming from a meeting. So before I could get to my mama's church, they already right there. And all I could do was sit down on the little wall. And I'm hoping that they don't see me, that they don't recognize who I am. And so I'm sitting there, and Monster walked by. He looked at me. I looked up at me. He looked. He said, "Big U?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he said, "Cuz."
What?
You know Monster Kody?
Yeah, I was never been in the same space with Monster. Monster was like the folklore to us. Monster walked by. He looked at me. I looked up at me. He looked. He said, "Big U?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he said, "Cuz, big nigga, this Big U." And he called Devil. And he got all the little Hoovers right there looking at me. Like, "Nigga, y'all know what this is, nigga, this Big U. Nigga, this Big U from 60s, nigga. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Man, you found God?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Yeah." He like, "Man, you going to this church right here?" I'm like, "Yeah." And I just went with it. I'm like, "Dog, I don't give a fuck who I was. It was not gonna happen. It was not gonna happen, dog. They had me right there in front of my mama church. And I'm talking to him. That was the last time I seen him. And I'm talking to him. That was the last time I
What
seen him.
y'all think? Dude is a good storyteller though.
I seen him, we chopped it up, me, him, and I'm saying like, and he like, "Yeah, nigga, man, this nigga had to fight. This dude can squabble. I said, this the nigga, only nigga that got a little something. He ain't win, but this the nigga only." I said, I didn't win. It was, I ain't gonna push him low. He like, "Nigga," then me and I'm chopping over the ones I knew. And man, they let me go. They let me go into church. You know what I'm saying? They like, man, they chopped over me. I shook some of their homeboys' hand. And that was the last time I seen him. I don't even know if he had dead or alive.
That was the ultimate pass right there.
Nigga, it was a God pass.
Since that karate shit wasn't gonna get
Man, wasn't nothing gonna get nothing. Dog, it was so many of them walking. They was walking in the streets. Well, I don't know if they was coming from a meeting or going to a meeting. I don't know what it was. It was a Sunday morning. I was at church with my mama. I just came home, and my hair was cut off. So he like, "Man, you found God?" I'm like, "Yeah."
It didn't dawn on Monster that Big U is a Nation of Islam Muslim.
Nah, I wasn't even a Muslim then. I just got out in March '87.
Okay.
I just got in March. I just had left the county jail with him. He had got out before me. He got out before me, so him and Lil Devil got out before me. So yeah.
It didn't dawn on Monster that Big U is a Nation of Islam.
So When I seen him, I'm just not coming on. But I don't got the hair no more. I don't got the braids and all that. I cut my hair off to get ready to go to trial.
He admits to cutting his hair for trial here, but on the Hot Box interview he said otherwise.
Terrible cases. Ended up luckily beating those. Came out in 87. Same thing. Went back. Then I left and went to Minnesota for a little while. Hustled up there. Feds ran me out of there. Then I came back and started a robbery crew in violence. So my relationship with Jim had formed, and I kind of backed up off the streets. Right after that, I cut my hair off, and I met Mr. Louis
Backed off the
Farrakhan,
streets
who
now
had a great
versus for
influence on
trial.
Okay,
Yeah,
no,
okay,
you wanna detail about that,
officer.
though, so people
I
can
mean,
understand why?
okay,
So
sir.
I read Malcolm X's autobiography, of course, and then I was on the road. I was taking some drugs from Minnesota, because I used to get the drugs in Minnesota, and I would take them all throughout that little tri-area, Detroit, St. Louis, Chicago, and it was a little hub.
Yeah.
So I'm taking it, I read Malcolm X's autobiography. Then the feds hit in Minnesota about 7 months after that, but I stayed in Chicago studying. Then I came back home and I hooked up with Dr. Khaled Muhammad, me, Khaled.
You were hitting some licks back then, though, huh?
Oh yeah, I was killing them.
Yeah, I'm listening to some licks.
What no big you nothing. And this nigga is talking about, yeah, this big you from 60s nigga, this nigga whoop, 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 whoop. Man, he used to get a homie's problem like, man, we ain't gotta say all that.
Western Wiggle in the set, Sean Hood.